It's Monday. It's morning.
And it's not Memorial Day yet.
It's not Monday morning, Memorial Day macabre. That is next week.
I really thought it was this week until like Friday, and I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, because I've been getting phone calls from the office being like, where are you? And I'm like, it's Memorial Day. And they're like, you're fired. And I'm like,
just a prank, bro.
But I'm golfing, bro. It's just a social experiment, dude.
I'm in America, right? So I just sat out in front of my house that I don't have on a street and just waited for a parade to go by.
I was going to say, I just waved at cars thinking it was a parade this whole goddamn time.
I was like, where's the one with all the Girl Scouts on it that throw candy at me?
Where's all the veterans from the Korean War? Where are they? They're not here.
And I spent 3 days doing that this weekend.
Yeah, now I do this every Monday of the year.
And I'm right once.
Until one of them shows up. 1 out of 52,
it's a real
maybe.
monkey typewriter, broken clock type of thing.
But boy, do the kids love it.
Darce.
Hey, guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We haven't talked to you, listener.
Oh, hey there. Yeah, hey, listeners. Welcome to Monday Morning Macabre, the non-Memorial Day edition with Scones and Darcy. If you haven't listened to the podcast before, we talk about spooky, scary stuff. And you guys listen to the spooky, scary stuff. And it's just a fun, a grand old time.
I have fun until I don't.
As the kids say. Scones has fun until we talk about most subjects, and then we both kind of go,
Anything that I can remotely relate to my life or the people in it is like a huge bummer, which I think is just human nature, but still.
Yeah, that's why we're only talking about things that have happened on the moon, baby. Did you guys know that the scariest part of the moon is the craters?
You never know what's in there.
Could be a sandwich, could be a bag of old man-witch. What?
Bag of old man-witch. Yeah, he owns a pub in Southie, dude.
Yeah, dude. Sully was there with Sully and Sully. Fitzy and Sully was there.
Everyone knows Murph.
Oh, man. What a time to be alive.
Darce, I'm going to bring you a spooky subject today.
I don't think we're going to do that today.
Okay.
We're going to keep coming up with generic Irish last names.
Just
Sully was there.
New England at last. Everyone in New England knows at least 3 people with these names.
No, Sully, Fitzy, Murph. I want to say O'Toole, but I feel like I've never actually met an O'Toole.
No, me neither. You just have like kids' books that when they're learning about St. Patrick's Day, someone in the kids' book is named O'Toole.
Exactly. Anyway, Scones, what are you talking to us about on this beautiful not Memorial Day?
First things first, I got to dedicate this episode to the dads and grads out there.
Oh, dad and grad season, everybody. Get your hats, get your kids, get out there.
If there's any dads graduating right now, like a single tear rolling down my eye.
Now, Scones, as a father. I've graduated in the past.
Ooh.
So while it is not simultaneous, I do fit both of those criteria.
This is your time of year, dude.
This is my favorite time of year. I'm yelling at my daughter. I'm like, why aren't you graduating yet?
I think it's Mental Health Awareness Month, but move over because it's Darce's time.
Yeah, it's Menthol Health Awareness Month, but for me...
Joe Biden put an end to it.
Joe Biden ruined Menthol Health Awareness Month. Menthol health has deteriorated rapidly in this country, and I think it's something we need to talk about.
Finally. Are we the first podcast brave enough?
Brave enough to get restaurants to smell like shit again?
That's crazy. Dude, I was talking to someone yesterday.
I remember.
I don't care if you want to hear the subject that you came here for. You're going to sit here for
I don't care if you're here for scary stuff.
You want to hear real scary stuff? When I was a kid and you walked into a restaurant, they asked your parents.
It smelled like smoke.
Smoking or non-smoking?
They asked your parents smoking or non-smoking. And it just smelled like hot people lung.
I asked someone about that yesterday, and she's like... a couple years younger than me, and she just had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, what?
What are we talking about? Okay, I think I know who we're talking about, and that's crazy that she's never experienced
she was like, oh yeah, like when you could smoke inside in like the 80s. And I turned around and I was like, what?
The 80s? What do you mean the 80s? You mean 1997?
I was like, yeah, don't quote the scripture. I was there when it was written. Elrond style.
You've never gone to a chateau? Oh, man. Anyway, Scones. Menthol Health Awareness Month, that's our little spiel about it.
Yeah. But we're going to talk today about a little listener suggestion. Oh, listener suggestion. This one, shout out to a longtime listener, multiple time suggester, Dakota/Lucas Riggs. I don't know. I think we've established that he's Dakota Riggs.
We've established that it's the cycle of the moon. Yeah.
What is it right now?
It depends on the moon cycle. Is it waxing or waning?
Current moon phase.
I think it's waning.
It's a waxing gibbous today with a 94%.
Waxing gibbous.
Oh, we got a full moon this week, so he's Dakota.
Ooh. Hey, Dakota. Congratulations on your full moon. I hope you're feeling like you're a waxing gibbous right now, because I know we do. My favorite Star Wars character. Fuck. Okay.
The subject we're talking about today sounds like a 90s Canadian alt-rock band, but it's not. Today we're talking about...
Alt-right band?
Alt-rock.
Oh, okay. Way different.
We're talking about Roch Thériault and the Anthill Kids.
That is a really good alt-rock band name. The Anthill Kids is just like a sweet name for any group, any gaggle of ne'er-do-wells.
Yes, you're going to feel very differently in about a half hour. All right, band.
We'll see about that,
all right,
baby.
Band. Show what alt-right... I almost said alt-right now.
show what the alt-right band play us in. Scones, I'm going to just say right now, before we get to the end of this episode...
Did we just establish we have an alt-right band? They're really talented.
They're skeletons, and they have some real crazy ideas. They were at the Capitol riots, but don't tell anybody. I'm going to just start off this episode by saying, no matter what you say, I agree with these people. Let's make that stance known right now.
That's always a good hill to die on.
Yeah,
an anthill to die on. Hey, we were both there. We're both smart and funny, and that's why you listeners tune in.
And we're both super beautiful people.
We are. Don't fact check us. Just trust us. We're beautiful.
Don't fact check us, and don't get the vaccine.
That's what the
on Monday morning.
That's what the band was telling me the other day. That's weird you said that.
Yeah, the band was really into. They're gonna microchip you, and I was like, yeah, dog.
Yeah, like I was. The band was in the coffee room, all of them at Slinging Dingers, and I went in.
Yeah, all of them. They only move you as a single unit.
Yeah, it's like the Delightful Children from Down the Lane, if anyone gets that reference.
Wow, that is a codename Kids Next Door reference?
Yeah, I remember smoking in restaurants. Anyway.
Smoking restaurants and number 5, whose father, I believe, was Bill Cosby, which is a bad look nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they made that joke. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, this is a whole nother
What were you even talking about?
Episode.
Oh, I watched in the coffee room. It was a joke about the band being alt-right. This isn't worth it. Let's get on to Roch Thériault.
This isn't worth it. Let's get on to the Anthill Kids and Rush Limbaugh or whatever the fuck.
This podcast is 90% us jamming as many bits as we can into the first 5 minutes, and then
jamming as many references from our childhood as we could possibly do while talking about horrific things.
And then they're sitting there hitting the plus 15 seconds button.
Yeah. Hey, comment below how many plus 15s you're hitting. You're not hearing about Audible, so I know there's at least 2 of them removed.
All right, Roch Thériault was a man on a mission. Oh, I'm reading from
My Mother's Diary.
Nope, cultnation.com.
Cult Nation,
That's
my favorite place to buy event tickets.
This article is by Robin Ruse, published May 20th, 2020. Lots of 20s.
Robin Ruse on Roch Thériault?
Exactly. Robin Rue, dude. Robin Rue Roche. All right. So his mission, Roch Thériault, was to save himself and his followers from the coming apocalypse. Sounds like a pretty good guy, right?
He sounds like he's a dad. As a father, I'm constantly trying to save my daughter from the coming apocalypse.
What a great way to put, looking out for your child's safety. It's like those memes where it's like, hey, you having kids? And if the answer is no, instead put no, the bloodline ends with me. As a child, Thériault dropped out of school and started teaching himself the Old Testament.
What the fuck? All right, hold on. I take back everything I say at the beginning about agreeing with everything already, because I know this dude's going to be an absolute whack job.
Well, he starts out with Major Grigori Rasputin vibes. Callback if anyone remembers that episode.
Hey-oh, rah-rah.
Yeah, write in how many times you hit plus 15 seconds on that episode. He was convinced.
We're going for the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, for the worst.
For the worst content.
The worst fan service you can get. He was convinced that a war between good and evil was about to come, and that this would bring about the end of the world. So, classic.
Classic. He just read The Lord of the Rings and was like, yep, that's my life.
Sauron's coming, dude.
He's like, listen, sweetheart, there's some Uruk-hai, and they are mad, and they're on their way.
Listen, the Valinor aren't coming back, baby.
I was the last one to see the world tree, baby.
No, there is 2 giant trees in...
Yeah, there is, and then it's in her eyes. What's her face?
Galadriel.
Galadriel's eyes have
but the trees
sparkles in them because she was the last to see like the tree of whatever.
Yeah, before it got eaten by Ungoliant the Black. Ungoliant, I don't know if he had a title, but it was a giant spider. Anyway, end of the world. I don't even care about the actual content anymore. Now I'm just thinking about Lord of the Rings. No, he converted to Seventh-Day Adventist Church and lived by their rules. These included no tobacco, no unhealthy foods, no alcohol, and no drugs.
And do not pass go and collect $200.
Dude, imagine like your religion being like, hey, no buffalo wings, baby.
Dude, I'd be like, but Sully, Fitzy, and Murph said so.
Thériault was a charismatic man, good at persuading others to do his bidding. While organizing seminars for the Adventists, he convinced an entire group of people to quit their jobs and form his religious following called the Anthill Kids. Now, for any Seventh-day Adventists out there, this is where he breaks off. So you should all know, Seventh-day Adventists, this is where that religion is not like this.
Yeah. It always blows my mind how cult leaders manage to do this. I would have no idea where to start.
Take a regular, like, popular religion and make it like...
Yeah, but to convince groups of people to, like, completely throw their lives away just to, like, chill in my house and read scripture and probably do drugs. It's probably the drugs.
I'm sure it's like you're preying on desperate or like people looking for something bigger than themselves. Yeah. And if you like join a major religion, it's already like a way that a lot of people turn to that for help. So it's kind of like, hey, I can take these people who are like finding religion for guidance in their life and then twist it.
It's like those televangelists that are super creepy on TV that are like
and insanely rich.
Yeah, it's super gross. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's still happening.
He was no longer Roch to the world. He was Moses. It's like, dude, come on. Find a new
real
name.
Original, bro. Yeah.
There's one other Moses. Actually, 2.
It's like, hey
Moses
guys,
Malone.
You can't call me Darce anymore. I'm now Bruce Wayne. And you're like, that's taken, my dude.
There's literally like 2 famous Moses. You just need to. There's Moses who brought down the 10 Commandments, and there's Moses Malone who brought down rims with his dunks.
Who brought down the fucking dunks. Who rained down dunks on the opposing team.
It was 1977, and Thériault and his followers formed a commune that was free of sin and stood for equality and unity. Sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty boss.
Of course, just with every other cult, the good times would quickly come to an end.
Less boss.
Which started when the Adventists kicked them out for their weird-ass behavior.
Hell yeah.
Thériault forbid his followers to contact their families. Red flag. And against Adventist rules, developed a drinking problem. Also red flag.
Hey. Well, you know what, Scones? All red flags are just flags when you look back with rose-colored glasses.
Did you just make that up?
I wish.
No further questions. Rules for followers became stricter and stricter.
Court adjourned.
Yeah. Check, please. Rules for followers became stricter and stricter up until the point where the members were restricted from speaking to each other without Thériault present. So he's like, hey, you can't talk to anyone unless I'm there.
Yeah, this sounds like a Lifetime movie level of like abusive relationship, just in how straightforward and general it is.
Yeah, he runs the gambit of all of the worst parts of what you just said.
Yeah.
The Anthill Kids made their living by selling baked goods. However, apart from baking, life in the sect was a nightmare.
What the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna take a closer look at the next box of Girl Scout cookies I buy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be like, are you guys okay?
Can you talk to each other? Are you allowed to go home right now?
Sir, are these peanut butter patties? Is there a message inside of them?
There's just a creepy dude with a beard like, hey, don't ask questions. Thériault started spying on his followers, and when some...
Just an adult man in a Girl Scout uniform.
Listen, man.
Like way too small. It's not even like a fitting one. It's just like, I don't think you're the guy who's supposed to be bringing me my peanut butter patties.
But I love Thin Mint so much I won't ask questions. He has $5.
I won't ask questions. And he's like, just put him in the freezer, baby. And you're like, all right, sir.
Thériault started spying on
My name's Michelle. Anyway.
I got my citizenship badge, last week.
Ooh,
this
boy.
is a wonky episode where...
Yeah, we're going all over the place on this
alive.
one. Not more. Bits come alive, tell your dad and mom.
Dakota, I hope this is what you envisioned.
Dakota was like, I really hope they talk about adult men in Girl Scout uniforms this episode.
It's so great suggestion, dude. You fucking nailed it.
Yeah, this is a waxing gibbous of an episode if I ever heard one.
Thériault started spying on his followers, and when some seemed not devoted enough, he would punish them. If a person wished to leave the sect, Thériault would become enraged. He would hit them with belts or hammers. He would suspend them from
that's a good way to keep them around.
He would suspend them from the ceiling, and he would pluck each and every hair from their body individually, or he would defecate on them. This dude. And people are still like, he has some interesting thoughts on punishment. But he said
he's still Moses.
He said that same thing that my church that I was already at is saying.
Yeah, it's literally like a South Park villain. He's like, I'm going to take a shit on your head if you try and leave.
Yeah. As the well-being of his seminars decreased, Moses Thériault became more and more convinced of his godly delusions. It became apparent to Roch that the world would end in 1979 and drove his commune into the Canadian wilderness, convinced that for some reason God would skip a chance to destroy Quebec.
What the He's like, listen, he hates the world, but he loves hockey.
And he loves poutine, baby.
How is it that, every single cult follows the same trend of like, okay, the world's going to end. Only I know when it's going to end. And we have to go to a very specific location that is away from everybody. And nobody is ever like, these seem to align with the other cults of around this time. Maybe we're being played.
Yeah. I think this is like the height of
the
cults
MLM
in
of
America.
The 70s.
And, North America probably, like the 1960s, 70s.
So, yeah, you got a bunch of them.
And I feel like when you're in the cult, you don't get the chance to hear about cults.
That's true.
So I think that's why,
you think Manson and
there wasn't
Moses were
a cult newsletter.
yeah, right. There wasn't a podcast called Monday Morning Cult.
Oh, if there was, we could have helped people.
We could have been the guys.
No, we can help people right now. Hey, listener, are you being is all the hair in your body being plucked out and you're getting pooped on? Is someone in your church like, hey, we can do this, but you can all have to do what I say in baked goods and get chained to a tree?
Were you given a size medium child's Girl Scout cookie outfit?
Are you selling Thin Mints and can I buy some?
We need the Thin Mints, is what we're trying to get at.
1979 came and went, but the world did not, surprisingly, end. Thériault explained this away by saying our world and God's world run on different time zones. He just forgot to set his clock, baby.
Yeah, he's 3 hours behind, baby. It'll come.
However, this lacking explanation did not stop his followers from romanticizing him and proclaiming him as their absolute leader.
What a dum-dum.
And if you look at him, he looks like a dum-dum.
Yeah, let me pull up a picky wiki of Moses Thériault. He looks like Cthulhu if instead of tentacles he just had a shitty beard.
Oh, that's not a bad call. He does look like that.
Yeah, all right. He's got the big protruding forehead.
It's
all right, this is an audio medium, so I know you guys are probably like, this is bad. But look it up.
In the Canadian wilderness and later the woods of Ontario, his female concubines bore Thériault 26 children.
That's
so many kids. That's the whole school bus, dude. That's...
And he's the driver, and... you know what's funny is when I saw his picture, his picture is exactly what the guy I pictured in my head is trying to sell me the cookies before I even knew what he looked like.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. So that's horrific. I hate knowing that.
Roch, as the ultimate fucked up cult leader, first of all, I didn't realize that part when I said this one goes out to dads and grads. This one does not go out to you, Roch Thériault.
Not to this dad.
Roch, as the ultimate fucked up cult leader, would physically and sexually abuse his children, and welfare authorities would come and take them away.
If the authorities come and take the kids away, but wouldn't they be like, hey, there's a lot more shit going on here that is not allowed?
Because, I
feel like,
I don't know. I mean, we've already talked about how in Canada, That guy chopped off someone's head on a bus modern day and like got 9 years.
That's true. That's a good point.
So maybe like they didn't do anything technically illegal. I don't know. This next part, that was obviously really horrible, but this next part gets really gruesome. People. So if you don't want to listen, hit that 15 seconds button like a shit ton.
A shit ton.
However, the torture did not stop there for the Anthill kids. When their pappy, as they called him, became angry, he would take on the role of a surgeon. The patient would be held down, fully conscious by the other followers, and Thériault would go to work on them with available kitchen utensils, pliers, or even a blowtorch.
Jesus.
Most followers would lose limbs, teeth, fingers, and toes to this practice.
Whoa. And they were like totally cool about it? I mean, not the ones being... I assume the ones that are having it done to them are not totally cool about it. I'm saying the other followers were like, hey, this could happen to me, but whatever.
I mean, at the time, they must think like it was getting them closer to whatever kind of god or something. Maybe,
dude, cults are so nuts.
It's crazy how common they are.
Yeah, Scones, it's weird because you always like call me like most days and go, I wish we had a cult. And you keep saying that.
You're not allowed to say that online. I'm going to burn the shit out of you next time I see you. There were many other disciplinary practices Thériault used. So this one is kind of what this next thing is what the cult became infamous for. He forced commune members to break their own legs with sledgehammers.
What?
So like you would have to take a sledgehammer and break your own leg.
What the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
He would also have them shoot each other in the shoulders and eat their own feces, insects, and rats.
All right. This dude, I should have known as soon as you said as a kid, he's like, I don't want to go to school. I just want to read the Old Testament. I knew he was going to be a fucked up dude.
No, it gets so much worse. He would nail children to trees and force other children to throw rocks at them. He would forcibly remove teeth and nails. He would burn his followers by making them sit on lit stoves. He would cut off arms and legs without warning.
Oh.
He made them sit naked in the cold and whip and beat them. Nothing was too cruel a punishment.
And what were they being punished for? Is this just like if they weren't like being culty enough? Like
I assume them, but I'm sure he also just flew off the rails sometimes.
Yeah.
He does not sound of sound mind. I don't think there's rules here, really.
That's a good point.
However,
that's valid.
Thériault's piece de resistance came when one of his followers complained of pain in the abdomen. Thériault forced her to undress, laid her on the kitchen table, and punched her in the stomach, performed an enema by shoving a tube up her rectum and filled her up with olive oil. That was the worst sentence I've ever had to read, I think.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Oh, God, no. This next one might be. Then he cut her stomach open, ripped out parts of her intestine with his bare hands, and he forced another member to stitch her up.
What the fuck?
Then he shoved a tube down her throat and made the other woman blow air into it. And as you could probably expect, this woman would die the next day.
Jesus.
This is the worst guy. We've said that multiple times, but nothing's worse than this guy. Anyway, Jesus Christ.
I really wish... redacting my initial statement about the Anthill kids or whatever.
Yeah, this was a hard one for you to take that stance early on.
Yeah, not great.
Other victims of Roch consisted of two of his own children, one of which he murdered during a failed circumcision, and the other died when Roch left him outside in the middle of a blizzard. It took the near-death experience of Gabriel Lavallee, I don't know how the French pronunciation is of that, to bring to light all these horrible crimes against humanity. Gabrielle had endured blowtorches held to her genitals, 8 of her teeth taken out, and a hypodermic needle broken off in her spine. She tried to escape but could not live without the cult and went back. Roch took this as good reason to cut off one of her fingers, nail her hand to a table, and amputate her entire arm with a hunting knife. Of course, Gabrielle did not see this as enough reason to actually leave.
What the? Yeah, see, this is the shit where I'm like,
These people are so mentally...
Yeah.
Gone.
I can't imagine how... Yeah, exactly. How, like, far away from reality you would have to be in order to not be like, we need to get the fudge out of here.
Yeah. It's like a mix of whatever and Stockholm syndrome. Like, that's so powerful that
that's actually nuts.
It's scary because I'm sure it can, like, we think it only happens to, like, the craziest people, but I'm sure, like, some of these people were, like, totally
normal people, and then they just this is horrific.
Yeah, I'm in a totally different mood than when we started, as I should be.
No more fun Moses Malone references.
No more Moses. If Moses Malone is listening to this, wait, hold on. Moses Malone is still alive, right? He better be.
I have no idea.
He wouldn't be that old, but I don't know. Oh no, he's not. Moses. He passed away September 13th, 2015. Fuck. He was only 60, dude. Died of a heart attack. It's almost like I don't want to talk about Roch anymore.
I want to find out what happens. I want to make sure he goes to jail forever or is dead.
It took Roch amputating parts of her breasts and smashing her head in with an axe for Gabrielle to actually flee and contact the authorities.
What the fuck?
It was 1989 and the Anthill kids were finally free. Thériault was given a life sentence, one he did not complete. In 2011, Roch Moses Thériault's cellmate walked up to the guard station, handed them a knife and said, "Hey, that piece of shit is down on the range.
Thank you.
Here's the knife. I sliced him up."
Hey, honestly, good for that guy. I realize it's super fucked up, but like
someone had to do this.
Yeah.
I don't wish death on anyone, but this guy, like, who was gonna stop? And after I heard that the guy who cut a head off on a bus like got out after 9 years, like, I don't even trust it.
Yeah.
Honestly, he might have deserved worse. Anyway, Thériault was 36 years old and did not die as he envisioned. A prophet sent by God to protect his followers.
Wait, he was only 36 years old?
Oh, sorry. Did I say that? 63.
Yeah,
wow.
You said 36. I was like, wait.
Oof.
Okay, yeah, that's way different.
Thériault was 63 years old. The weirdest part is that even after all that Roch had done wrong, his sane followers remained loyal and slaved away to comply to his every whim.
So fucked.
It's easy to say that one would never accept being treated this way, but yet these normal, ordinary people endured endless torture from a liar, a mean drunk, and a sadist, just because their beliefs matched up with his. It is truly frightening what charisma and religious fervor can make people do.
A deadly combination, to be sure.
For sure.
That's wild.
So that
did not like
was the most horrible thing I've ever put in my brain.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
So listeners, if you skipped out,
I hope you 15 seconds
till right
now, because you're gonna have a way better day than we're gonna have
for sure.
Yeah, that is
our band apparently is canon now as a bunch of alt-right skeletons is even cringing at this.
Yeah, they've got some very radical ideas, but they play a mean intro song, so
it's a real separate the art from the artist situation.
Oh god, that was just so. It's every time we talk about cults, I'm always blown away by the incredibly messed up things that happen and how far it has to go before like something is done about it. Every single time. And
fucking Moses Malone isn't alive anymore. Like,
yeah, and we lost Moses Malone all in one episode. So Dakota, I hope you're happy. You
sicko. No, just kidding. No, that was horrible.
That was horrible.
Thanks for the suggestion.
Thanks for the suggestion. Keep sending them in.
Support. We didn't mean to imply anything about the Girl Scouts of America either. Support them.
Yeah, buy Girl Scout cookies as long as it's from legitimate sources and not
a
cult leader in an outfit. Follow us, guys.
This episode was all over the fucking place.
Follow us on our socials. Monday Morning Macabre, Twitter, Macabre Pod. Go to MondayMorningMacabre.com. Sign up for the Patreon if you want bonus content. And leave a comment about how many 15-second skips you do.
Yeah, remember that humanity's a monster.
Real bummer, but it's that in grad season. So get out to those graduations and...
Get out and support grads and dads.
And above all, have a good Monday.
Have a good Monday.
Boy.